Stand up for freedom, hold it close tonight. It's the reason we're here.
Dear friends, neighbors, and fellow Americans, I want to speak to you honestly, not as a polished, cookie-cutter political candidate, but as a fellow American who believes deeply in this country and in the principles that make it worth fighting for. I understand that I am not the typical candidate. I live with the physical challenges that come with cerebral palsy, and unlike many political campaigns, I do not have a large financial machine behind me. I don't have unlimited resources, wealthy donors, or a political establishment supporting my campaign. But I have something I believe is far more important and valuable: passion and a genuine desire to serve. I truly want to serve the people of Tennessee's 6th Congressional District and my country. The truth is, growing up, I wanted nothing to do with politics. I still would rather not be involved in politics. But over the years, I have come to realize that my love for this country is greater than my dislike of politics. That is why I continue to step forward. I believe government should serve the people. I believe every American should have the opportunity to live their life freely. People shouldn't have to constantly worry about whether they can afford their groceries, keep a roof over their heads, pay their energy bills, afford healthcare and insurance, or simply make ends meet. And they shouldn't have to wonder whether decisions being made thousands of miles away in Washington will make everyday life even harder. Too often, those in Washington forget that their decisions don't exist on paper alone. Every law, regulation, tax, spending bill, and government program has consequences for real people. A decision made in Washington can mean the difference between a family being able to afford something they need or having to go without. It can mean a small business being able to stay open or being forced to close. It can mean a young person being able to build a future or wondering whether that future is still within reach. I'm not saying that every person in Washington forgets about the people they represent. There are good people in government who genuinely want to serve. But it happens far too often. And it shouldn't. Everyone deserves to be heard. I believe every person deserves representation. Not just Republicans. Not just Democrats. Not just independents. Not just conservatives or liberals. Everyone. We are never going to agree on everything. That's part of being Americans. Our nation was founded on the idea that people could have different beliefs, express those beliefs, debate them, and still share a country. I don't expect everyone to agree with me. In fact, I don't even expect everyone to like me. What I do believe is that we should be able to disagree without treating one another as enemies. Liberty means protecting the rights of people even when we disagree with them. That principle matters most when we are defending the rights of someone whose beliefs are different from our own. If liberty only applies to people we agree with, then it isn't really liberty. Why I remain independent. I have been running for office since 2018, first as a Republican then as independent, and one of the reasons I remain an independent is simple: I believe political parties can have agendas that don't always align with liberty. That doesn't mean I believe everyone who belongs to a political party is a bad person. Quite the opposite. I have friends who belong to different political parties, and we don't always agree. For the most part, we have learned that it is possible to disagree and still respect one another. There have also been times when political disagreements became so intense that I had to distance myself from people, including removing some connections on social media. Sometimes disagreements become personal, and when that happens, relationships can suffer. That is exactly what I don't want for our country. We shouldn't allow political labels to become more important than the people wearing them. Before we are Republicans, Democrats, or Independents, we are Americans. And before we are Americans, we are human beings deserving of dignity, freedom, and respect. I am not running because I love politics. I'm running because I love my country. I'm running because I believe the Constitution still matters. I'm running because I believe individual liberty matters. I'm running because I believe government should be accountable to the people, not the other way around. I'm running because I believe Washington should remember who it works for. And I'm running because I believe ordinary Americans should have a voice in their government, even if they don't have millions of dollars behind them. My cerebral palsy does not define my ability to understand the issues, my ability to care about my community, or my desire to serve. My lack of financial resources does not diminish my commitment. I may not have all the advantages of a traditional candidate, but I have something I refuse to surrender: my conviction that America can do better. A different kind of politics. I don't believe we need more politicians shouting at one another. I believe we need more Americans willing to listen. We need representatives who remember that political office is supposed to be public service. We need leaders who understand that constitutional rights don't belong to one political party. We need people willing to say, "I disagree with you, but I will still defend your right to speak." We need to rediscover civility. Most importantly, we need to remember that the United States of America belongs to we the people. Not to one party. Not to one politician. Not to Washington. We the people. My promise. I cannot promise that I will agree with everyone. I cannot promise that I will always have the perfect answer. But I can promise that I will approach this with a genuine desire to serve. My goal is not power. My goal is not political fame. My goal is not to become another career politician. My goal is to serve my country and, if given the opportunity, to help restore something I believe we desperately need: civility and liberty for all Americans. I know this journey will not be easy. But I believe some things are worth fighting for even when the odds aren't in your favor. America is worth fighting for. Liberty is worth fighting for. And the people of this country are worth fighting for. Thank you for taking the time to hear me out. Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, support me, or simply want to learn more about what I believe, I appreciate you. We may not always see eye to eye. But we are still Americans. And perhaps the greatest thing we can do for our country is remember that. For liberty? For the Constitution? For the people? Sincerely, Christopher B. Monday.